Boom, boom. Hey, what up, though? Y'all got them toys today. It's toy. It's
Listen,
TNT,
it's a
and
takeover, y'all. Y'all know what it is. It's a takeover.
y'all already know. Yes. And why are we taking it? Well, first of all, how you feeling today, Toya? We're taking over. How's it? How do you feel?
You know, it's always a good day when we get to come on Dozie show and take it over. You already know how we get down. Yes.
Yes, yes. So if you don't know, the host of the show is Dozell Varner and Kim Varner, and today Dozell is cruising together with his wife. Right? It is my mom's birthday. Dozell is my dad, and it's her birthday tomorrow. So they're on the cruise for that. And then Kim is doing what he does. He does that diversity training. So so it's time for another takeover. And we could say historically, because we've done this. This will be number three, right?
Oh, no.
Historically we take over the dialogue and it's just the two of us. We may have a sister producer, but we said today we want a little testosterone. We want a man on the show. So we're so grateful, we're so thankful. Today we have our dear brother Darrell Richardson. And Darrell, he coaches with my dad. He is a former what, Toya?
Police officer just out here living life.
Just living life, retired. Must be
Yes.
nice. We'll get there.
All
All
right.
right, Dale. So we're so excited that you're here. Come on the stage, dear brother. Yes.
Hey.
Hey, hey.
Welcome. Welcome.
We're so glad.
Hey,
How was
there
your day
you
today,
go. What's
dear?
up? Got TNT in the house, huh? Oh man, I'm
Hey.
good. I'm sitting
Toya
between
Power.
the two Nubian sisters, man, and you guys are dynamic and smart and articulate, and we're gonna get into it, right? TNT will make your knees bend.
Love it. So yes, hey, and thanks for
Y'all
joining
like
us. We
that?
see you. We see you did Dozie Land come through. We love to hear your comments. We love for you to engage with us on the show. We're so glad that you're here. It is a takeover. It is a dialogue with Dozie takeover. So yes, 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 yes. So guys, so we are going to be talking about last Wednesday, was a special edition. First time we ever had a special edition here on the dialogue. And so it was a discussion talking about who? Kylie and
Ky-
Kanye,
It's Kyrie,
Kyrie.
Kyrie Irving, and Kanye West.
Okay, okay. I feel like typically, Toy, when we do these takeovers, we don't really delve into all that, what's going on in the news and all that. But this was a particularly interesting topic, and the last show was particularly interesting because, Janice had to get a little catty on the show. Did
Y'all
y'all
know
see
how
that?
listen, I don't think they was ready for Miss
The-
Janice. Y'all know how she get down.
yes,
If you have not seen that show, please go back and watch last week's episode, last Wednesday's episode, because that was really, really filled with some good nuggets. I mean,
yes.
yes, it was a touchy subject. We don't mind talking about the taboo subjects on this platform, but that one was definitely one to watch. It was really good, and we're gonna get into it.
Yes, hence we're talking about today. So I'm going to show two quotes with you just to kind of get you ready and get an understanding if you don't know anything about the topic. So the first one is from Kanye West, and it says, "I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEF CON 3 on Jewish people. The funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because Black people are actually Jews also. You guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone, whoever opposed your agenda." Woo,
Yeah.
woo. He meant what he said. He said what he
Y'all
meant.
already know he has not the one to bite his tongue. That's his opinion, though.
That's how he feels, and it's
That's how.
based on his, what has happened to him. Okay, so that's
Mhm.
number one. Toya, let us know about the second one here, sis.
So on October 27, Irving tweeted a link to Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, a 2018 film driven by anti Semitic troops about Jewish people lying about their origins. Among its false and outlandish claims is the assertion that the Holocaust never happened. Irvin also made an Instagram post with a screenshot of the film's rental page on Amazon, which he had linked on his Twitter. Neither post included a caption or comment from Irving. Um, yes, let's talk about this. I mean, to be honest, my biggest question is why, so like it's their opinion. If that's what they think happened, that's what they think happened. Does that hurt us? What is going on with that?
Yes, and anybody out in there, Dozie land, if you want to interject or let us know, we want to understand, what was said or done that was so wrong. Let's have that discussion, guys. What do
People
you think
people
was
are
said? Where
entitled to their opinion, and like you said, the tweet did not have a comment or anything about it. He put the link there. It's up to you to go watch the film and come to your own conclusion. If he didn't put nothing else behind that, how do you know what he meant by it?
And even so, right? So the movie, as we understand it, and again, guys, that blurb was from the New York Times, and of course, the New York Times is going to frame it in the way they think. They felt it was anti-Semitic,
And that's
um,
their opinion.
and that's their opinion, right? And
Right.
they're freely able to share their
Yeah.
opinion. We have a comment here. Let's
Yes.
see what we got, guys. The book is problematic for them. Yes, Mac. Mac, do you have any insight on the book? What exactly is so problematic? Based on what I understand, guys, is that the comments are saying, that it's messing with Jewish history, the way that the Jewish understand their history. The Black Israelites, they look at the history differently, right? They look at it differently. Um, so
I
can we
mean,
let's talk let's talk about
if
that.
that's the case, we can look at our history much different from what they taught us in school too.
What you got
Yep.
to say, brother? I know you're bubbling. What you got to say, Daryl?
Well, boy, yes, I mean, you guys, y'all threw me right in the fire. I guess that's what CNT does, like
That's what
dynamite.
we
Y'all threw me
do.
right in the
Toya
fire.
power.
Here,
Toya
here's,
power.
here's, and the English language can be tabooish if we're not, we're not careful. And I understand Kyan West and all the different folks' position as it comes to the plight of people. Here's the thing, though. I think my brother has to understand when Pharaoh blesses you, Pharaoh can take it away. So, and I'm not calling anybody Pharaoh. What I'm saying, what I'm saying to you is that the industry that those brothers are in and controlled by a lot of the brothers and sisters who say that they are Jewish. My thing is, it's okay when the dichotomy of what you're saying and music, does it really sell music, or does the music that you allow to be played on the airways, is it a subliminal message for the people that's listening, right? So it's okay for, and this is just me, and you ladies just kind of made me aware of this tonight because I didn't even know, and you guys kind of brought me up to speed and how people are saying that it's anti-Semitic and all that, but I'm a man of color, and the history that I know that my people has endured in this country, which I love, which I've served as a police officer. But the harsh reality of it is that we have endured a lot of pain and suffering as a people of color in this country. Might be because of us, and we dang sure know it's because of other folk. Here's my thing. What I'm saying though is when the brothers are making the music, which I love all my brothers as artists, but when you're making the music about, you know what I'm saying? The girl came to the club, she had a fat old ass. I gave her this, and then me and my boys took her home and fucked her, and da 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 da. And then we shot the club up. We got all. When that stuff when they're promoting that stuff and they're allowing you to play that stuff on their air and radio, guess what? It's not anti-Semitic, right? To me, that's anti-Semitic when you allow that garbage to be played. So not only are we denigrating and disrespecting our Nubian queens, where all life form has come through. I don't care what you believe. All life form comes through that Nubian woman, period. Esau and Jacob was made. So the thing with my brother Kion West and all these guys that's entertained and all that, when you have folk that does not respect and understand your plight and understands that they attach themselves to your talents, they attach themselves to you being able to shoot a basketball on that. But Negro, don't you dare speak out or get out of line, Toby. We'll cut your foot off. So that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the mentality. See, the mindset hadn't changed of our counterparts because they give you Maybachs and Mercedes and you can go anywhere, you can go and buy your different shoes, and you can do all this crazy stuff. You can eat at the restaurants and all that stuff. You think you've made it. And the problem is when you begin to speak out on the injustices and those folks that you're speaking out against has put you where you are, you need to get back in line, Negro. That's the only thing that they're telling Brother Kanye West. Now, from what I understand he said, I mean, I don't understand how that's anti-Semitic. What I feel is anti-Semitic is a man that grew up here in the colors when you got young people being sold as sex slaves all around the world, and we can do something about it. Or people going hungry every night. Veterans on the street that's fought for this country, they sleeping in cars and all that. I don't care what their mental capacity is. That's anti-Semitic to me. When I'm called a nigger and you don't know who I am or what I stand for or what I've done, but you can hate me because of the color of my skin, that's anti-Semitic. I understand my brothers and sisters from the Jewish faith. I understand your plight, brothers and sisters. I do. I respect your plight. But you got to understand, a black man, or I don't call us black men, but a man of color is the only man who's ever been enslaved in this country. We have fought in every war. Now we're talking about history. I ain't talking about how you feel and your ego and what you achieved. Let's go back to the history. We have fought in every war in this country when we didn't even have rights in this country. That's anti-Semitic. You want me to go down the list? I give them to you. Revolutionary War, March 5th, 1970. We fought in that war. First on the line to die. We couldn't even sit on the same toilet as a white man in 1770. Something where shit goes in, you didn't even want a man of color sitting on it. Ain't that something else? Ain't that something else? We talk about Christ, right? We talk about Jesus. Why do you think white America or America had to come up with their own Jesus? Because Jesus that I know him, just reading from the book, he was a carpenter. He wasn't a master in PhD. He didn't have a PhD in mathematics from Oxford or Harvard or Yale, Morehouse or Southern University. He was a carpenter. That's a hard hat and a skill saw and a pickup truck, and you had God. So no wonder why America had to change the Christ that they changed into a white Christ. These are all the nuances that my brother Kanye West and all these guys got to understand. The truth has always been altered from the beginning. So my expectation of
Can you hear me, Toya?
Yeah, I can hear. I think he
Okay.
muted himself.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Brother Darrell. I don't show that you mute. If you want to come out and come back in, yeah, maybe just leave the studio and come back in so we can, yeah, come back. All right. So, Toya, see, I told you, Mr. Darrell, he got a little age on us, right? So it's a lot more wisdom. So I knew he was going to have a lot to say about the subject matter. I
Yeah,
knew he would have a lot to say about it. He said he was not so, far in age than we were, but he definitely has the wisdom on us.
right, right. Um, I don't know. Would we talk about these comments
Yeah,
yet?
let's do that. Yeah, so Mac, he said the book is problematic for them. Yes, and then Mac goes on to say the book written by their own basically states facts and conjecture. The conjecture is problematic, and so are the facts. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, there for them. Okay, hey Auntie, we
Hey,
want to hear more from you, Auntie. So glad that you're here. Yes, you can't get a contract unless you bow down to negative messages. They
ooh,
can speak, but we can't. Man, man, oh man. Just truth, and I feel like they pretty much summed up the whole show, right?
okay. That's true. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
the one thing that he said that sticks out to me the most is that
mhm.
we're out here fighting for everybody else, and we didn't even have rights ourselves, but they threw us on the front line. We were people then when they needed them bodies to fight these
Yeah,
wars. We were people then, but then
yeah.
now, like, we're still fighting for ourselves still.
Yeah, so to that answer, what was said or done that was so wrong, he didn't say what he should have said to keep his contract, if you will, right? He was not he was a bad boy, right?
I
He's
mean, and I always say, like matter of fact, you said this earlier. You was like, Kanye's not a dumb person. Like, he's definitely a very intellectual person. So who's to say that that was not his goal in the first place, to get out of them contracts? Let me say what I need to say to get out of these contracts. So maybe that was the whole plot anyway. So
Yeah. I'm
hey.
back, ladies. I'm back. I don't know. Something
yes.
kicked me out, man. I don't know. It's raining here where I am, so maybe that's the issue. I don't know. Or maybe they mad at what I'm saying. I don't care.
Okay, that could be it too.
We love it.
Yes.
We love that you don't care. That's awesome. So
So,
did you want to
so,
finish?
so,
Yeah, finish your
well, I
thought.
care about people. I'll finish what I was saying, and I'll wrap it up, guys. So, my brother Kanye and all these brothers that's just so grateful. I mean, so gracious in their talents. I mean, when Pharaoh's blessing, when Pharaoh's blessing you, man, that's what happens. So these guys don't control the airwaves and all that. All these different TV, CNN, and all that. You know what I'm saying? These things are owned by guys that saying they're of Jewish faith. So when you do certain things, if I go out and rob a bank, they're gonna say, yeah, the black guy, this person go out and rob. That's how they do. They you know what I'm saying? So a blind man can see your work. That's what I'm saying. And there's now that y'all got me on this talk, I'm gonna do a little bit more digging. So next time y'all have me on with this thing, we're gonna ride out with it because we're gonna go into that history. See, that history is you can't deny history. You can't deny history. And I was saying to you, TNT, before that, we fought in every war here, Revolutionary War, March 5th, 1770. We fought in that war. We left there, we fought in the Indian War. I don't know how God's gonna forgive us for that. Indians was here, we just came here and we fought in that war to take everything they had. 1812 to 1814. Colonel Jackson, the Mexican War, 1861 to 65, the Civil War. We fought in that war under, I think, President Theodore Roosevelt, right? We left there 1819, Black Jack Mulligan fought in that war. Cuba, 1819, right? 1914 to 1918, I think we fought in what was that? Civil War, right? No, I'm sorry, guys, not the Civil War. What was that, guys? 1915 to 14. Y'all got to help
World
me out with that.
War
Yeah, yeah, it
One.
was right.
Mm.
No, it was the
Oh,
Civil War, right?
unmute Toya.
No, man, I'm sorry. 1914, 1918 was a Korean War, guys. I'm all over the place,
So I'm
right? No,
impressed
I'm
that
sorry.
you know all these dates in general
Well, no,
of these wars.
1941 to 1945 was a Korea. I'm kind of all over the place because I got somebody distracting me over here. 1945, 1941 to 1945 was a Korean War. Then black, just Americans and us as people of color didn't bleed enough. We went from that war to the Vietnam War, right? And then, one of my favorite presidents, a lot of people don't like, was President Bush. We went to the Iraq War. So every war that America has fought in, the black man didn't have. Black man didn't. I mean, he's always been respected to have a man. Let me say this too, right here, ladies, please, if you can. My granddaddy, Joel Richardson. All right, he was a sharecropper. I remember when I was a little boy, and we used to go to this town up in northern Florida, right outside of Tallahassee, Asheville Highway, Monticello, and all those places. US 19. He was a sharecropper for the Kings. Mr. Claude King was a white guy. You guys know what a sharecropper is. Now this ain't nothing that I was told. This is something that I witnessed. We would go up there every summer, and I remember I was a young boy, and I was young enough to know and comprehend what that man was saying. My granddad would be standing out in the field, and he had a lot of people that worked for him. And that white man would pull up in his car, That's why I hate Buick Skylarks right now. He would pull up in his two-door Buick, wearing a Stetson hat and a what are those chloroform shoes, and he would have on what are these suits that these guys wear now? They call them the Stetson hat. It was a nice Stetson hat, and whatever the suits were, they had the blue stripes in them. They were white. A lot of guys wear them, and seersucker suits. Is there seersuckers? I think they were. Yeah, seersuckers. That white gentleman would come to my granddaddy in front of all of us. Now, here's what I'm saying to you, and this is how resilient we are as a people. And I was taught not to hate because I knew that what was going on in front of me was wrong. That white man would tell my granddaddy, Joe Richardson, right now, who's dead. Well, Mr. Joe, you had a great crop this year. You made $3,765. I remember this like yesterday. I would be holding on to my granddaddy's belt loop. He'll be holding his belt up by not even a belt. He'll have just like a wire holding it up that he'd cut off the tractor over there. And he would say to my granddad, he said, and you owe me $3,700 of that. My granddad had been to work the whole year for $65.
Lord have mercy.
But here's what I'm gonna say to you. He treated my grandmother like a queen. My dad and my uncles all lived a good life. And I remember every Sunday, when I was there during the summer, my granddad would have a feast and everybody in the neighborhood would come because you could always go in his smokehouse and get meat and all that stuff. I said this to say that I don't expect for nobody to feel my pain. I don't know you enough for that. Matter of fact, don't matter to me if you feel my pain. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that I understand then that there was a higher being that kept a man. And my grandma would get so upset with my granddad, and say, "How you let that cracker?" He wouldn't call him a white man, call him a cracker. "How you let that cracker come out here and talk to you like that?" But my granddad understood that he had to use discretion because he understood that he was under the arrow, the auspice, and the thumb of Pharaoh. He had to understand that my dad and all them had to leave and walk down 2 or 3 miles down a dark highway, and anything could happen to him back in those days, the 60s when I was born. So I thank God because my granddaddy had discretion enough, and he understood that even though my grandmother was all emotion and all that stuff, he understand the vernacular of that. But those are things that I can account for. So just imagine what went on all around this, and you have the audacity to say you hate me because I'm a man of color. Tell me why I shouldn't hate you. Tell me why I shouldn't hate you. And I don't hate nobody. I love all mankind because I understand that God made all mankind. There's something wrong, and you're sick. For you to say that you love I am, the supreme being, but you hate something because he gave me melanin in my skin. You're sick for you to feel like that. You're sick to be able to work a man for 250 years, benefit you and your family from that, and then you say, well, he's not important to my history. Well, I made you. So I can understand my brother Kanye West. And I don't know if he meant he was waking up as in his eyes were unveiled to truth, or was he working up out of his sleep? I don't understand because the English language can be tricky. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't condone nothing anti-Semitic. I don't care if it's against blacks, whites, yellow, browns, purple. You could be a donkey or a dog. Everybody have a perspective, place in God's and universe, and that's just me. I'll let you guys take it from there. I'm sorry to take so much of your time, guys.
No, I think it's a great story. I think you sharing about the sharecropping experience and the having the understanding that basically, like you said, that Pharaoh Pharaoh is king. That's who we have to. That's who we answer to. He's paying me, right? And so that I think that kind of leads to the other question that we had on here. Did they get what they deserve? The loss of $1 million case of Kanye $1 billion contracts. Um, I think just what you said. That you were disrespectful to daddy, and so this is what happens. And what do you
Man.
think? What do you think,
He ain't my
Toya?
What I
daddy.
think?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But that's
Well,
how.
well, here's what I can say to that, guys, is that I know that these brothers, and they're very talented in a lot of things they do. I believe that the platforms that
Of course.
they get on, this tactic, what is it called? Tactic, TikTok, and
TikTok.
Facebook, and all that. Yeah,
You
all
don't
this
own
stuff.
them.
That
You
stuff,
don't
man,
own
was
them.
created. I always say it's the devil because everybody wants that mountaintop experience.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the mountaintop experience. So here's what that's the worst thing people, melanin people, could have been a part of, because we're already expressive people anyway. So you put a mic in front of us and a camera, y'all know we gonna shine. It's just us. But here's what I'm saying though: if you're not using that platform to uplift and do all that stuff, I think it's just a bad source of entertainment or whatever you do. But that's my opinion, guys. And like I say, I sit on the island over here by myself. I don't bother nobody, and I try not to be bothered. You know what I'm saying? And but I just think that, sisters, by them doing whatever they're doing, that frees that brother. See, he doesn't understand the spiritual side to that thing. He's being freed now. His true expression of who he is, Kanye West and all these different guys that has to do. Now he can really express himself, because I was reading here, just as you guys fill me in. I guess he's worth a couple $1 billion from just his
He
artistic and
was.
his
He
He
music.
was.
was.
He was. He lost
Well, I
contracts
don't know.
because of what
I
happened.
don't. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I don't know. My dad used to say, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. So I don't know. He still might be a billionaire. But here's what I'm saying. Now maybe he's free, my sisters, to really self-express himself, and put himself at a level where he can really shine. Because let me say this to you. I know some of us think we have all the power, but ain't but one source has all the power. See, what he's got to do is he got to
Hey,
just turn from his wicked ways. And what I'm saying to you is that I know that some folk think that because they have money and this and that and cars, and they can buy anything they want, they can buy boys and girls, whatever they got going on. I understand they think they have all the power, but I can guarantee you this: they don't have all the power. Ain't but one source has all the power, and he made all of us. So that's all my brother Kanye West got to do. He's got to turn to that source, and I guarantee you, he'll send leagues of angels. He'll send
and
leagues of angels to protect him. And if it's not, anybody step to him, he just have to deal with him like a man. That's what he have to do. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know anything about this other brother. Is he a football player or a basketball player?
he's a basketball player. Yeah.
Y'all was saying he's an
Um,
athlete, right?
yeah, he's a basketball player. I personally
Oh,
believe
okay.
that based on my following Kanye, I love Kanye West. His documentary is like one of my
Mm-hmm.
favorite documentaries. I feel like he is definitely plugged into the source. And like you said, I think freedom is what he gained from this experience. I think the same with
Yeah.
the other brother. Last week, I had the privilege to work the All Black National Conference, helping with production
S-
work.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Excuse me for a minute, ladies. I
You're
got to step
good.
away.
You're
Hold on.
good. You're good. And so, Toya, with doing that production work, I had the understanding that this particular conference was not sponsored by any big name. Wells Fargo didn't. A lot of the productions that we do, right? They're sponsored by these big entities, right? This
Hmm.
particular wasn't. It was all in house. And with this conference being in house, that meant that they didn't have to worry about anybody else, what anybody else's thoughts were. They didn't have to answer anybody. They didn't during the process of the speaking. They didn't have to continue to say, and we would like to thank Wells Fargo. We would like to thank Bank of America. They didn't have to do none of that. It was like a big family reunion because it was paid from people on the inside, and that's it. And so I think that is what our brother Kanye and then what they've gained from this experience is that they're no longer under the reigns of the puppetry of those companies. You know?
I said that. I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he's an intelligent man. He did not make that move to soft power.
exactly,
He
exactly.
definitely might have been the outcome he wanted. And to be honest, they really just proved what he said was right. Like they snatched their power. I mean, that's it. That's just how it go.
I literally, our brother was talking about history, historical things, and literally, what Kanye said they did, they do.
They
So,
do.
like what you just said, I'm just
Let
repeating what
me
you said.
let me read the comments.
Okay.
So Linda said, back then we were even people then. They just needed someone on the front line that they thought had no value. That's going back to how we said, like he said, we were a part of these wars that we weren't even considered, people,
Yeah.
whole people. We were just considered
Yeah.
property back then. And then we got another comment. Kanye also pointed out that the fact that words considered anti should have the same energy when a black person is killed or mistreated. Words of anti and actions
Exactly. Thank you.
anti do not have the
Thank
same
you.
energy. Disparity is atrocious. Yes, it is.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, and then Miss Linda came back and said he still has to be that billionaire. Did they go into the money he already had? Like did they check the safe?
It's
Did they check the safe? They took the money off the top. Did they check the safe? You know
did
what I
they
mean?
check the save? Did they look under the mattress? Hmm.
Okay. And then
Exactly.
we got brother Anderson that said, it's freedom.
My
Like
brother,
Toya
my
said,
brother, my brother.
he definitely has freedom now. If anything, you freedom to say whatever you want to say even more now.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
Because
brother
Exactly.
Daryl,
go
yeah,
ahead.
I
Yes.
would just say
Yes.
I'm with you when you talk about all the platforms. We do not own the platforms. We don't own them platforms. You can say that you do
Right.
great on TikTok. They can
Right.
snatch you off TikTok tomorrow. They can push you
Any
off
day.
Twitter
Any day.
any day. You know what
Any
I'm
day.
saying? So
Any
my
day.
thing I'm with Matt. Matt says freedom. Build your own. Build your own. Get enough a group of people and build your own. They say Kanye is no
That's
longer
it.
a millionaire. He could create something and everybody, a billion people pay $1. He's a billionaire. Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't need things. We don't need this stuff. It's one of the reasons why I homeschool my children. I want them to understand that they have the freedom. They don't have to, do it and have it the way people say it has to be.
Right.
We
Right.
have options and we can do things ourselves. We have the ability.
My
Hmm.
thing, ladies. My thing is this. If I'm saying that I'm the chosen people, because I've heard throughout life, I'm 53 years old, and thank God that I'm able to say that I'm 53 years old. If
Amen.
if if I'm the chosen people, I know God's way. I know I am's way. Just hear me out. I know business practices that can help elevate all people, because there's enough here to share. But see, God's he's wise. He's omnipotent, so He knows just how many people He needs on the earth and how many people need to go off the earth. That's all the vicious cycle. So we're all here on passports, and we were just a passport to life. That's all you are. You have an entry date and you have an exit date. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much money you think you might have or you think you're gonna make. My thing is that if I say to you ladies, I am the chosen one, but there are people that are suffering that can't eat, but I am the chosen one. Me and my ugly ass wife and ugly ass kids over there, and I'm not saying I'm just making light of it.
I
I
hope
have a
so, Jesus.
15 bedroom, I have a 15 bedroom house, and you ride down to the corner store and you got people eating out of garbage cans and all that. But you are the chosen one. God's gonna hold you responsible, chosen one. So that's what you better be getting ready for. So if I'm the chosen one, and I'm like the carpenter, and I know that in certain religions, you guys say that Jesus never came or He was not here, quote unquote. I ain't getting into none of that with you. Here's what I can tell you though, is that it's funny how God came and got a mailbox in Nazareth, right? And he was from just a small hamlet because Nazareth wasn't that big. But guess what? The stage he performed on was the world, right? So my thing is, if I'm the chosen one, and I can show you two sisters how to maneuver and take your families and make them and elevate them bigger just for my business practices, and how I understand how the dynamic of capitalism works within our community to make it better, and how it's designed when you give us car loans to take away from. I'm going to share this with you guys. This year, I had a friend of mine. He's a Jewish friend, a good friend of mine. I've been knowing him all my life. He and I attended American Heritage High School, which is a great high school here in
Oh
Plantation.
yeah, yeah, I didn't know you
And
went there.
he and I was talking one day, and we were sitting at the Broward Mall. That's when they allowed the seniors to go off campus. And now I drove let me share this with you. I drove a '73 Impala, two-door hardtop. That's what my dad get. Now these guys now they call them donks, and they pay a lot of money for them. But I had one back in 1987, and he and I were sitting at the Broward Mall, and we were eating at this restaurant. Um, I forgot the name of it. We was eating some of those chicken bites that they walk around, and they still do that today. And we were talking about, we had just left a history class, and we were talking about reparations. And he said, Sandro, his name was Sandro. He said to me, he said, Darrell, he said, man, he said, I'm gonna be frank with you, bro. I said, talk to me. He said, I'm open to giving all people of color. I told him to say people of color because I say I ain't black. Black ain't nowhere about me. I'm a man of melanin. God made melanin in my skin. So he said, I'll do that. He said, here's the problem though, D. I said, what? He said, in 2 weeks, I'll have it all back. I said, why? He said, because I'm going to go open up rim shops and music shops. And he said, they'll buy all the music and rims that I sell. See, we're not a discreet people anymore. I remember when my grandmother and my pawpaw used to take us to the store. They wouldn't let you see how much money they had. My grandma would turn around, she'll reach in her bosom and pull her money out, and she'll count her money. Nobody can know how much money, then she'll put it back. She'll pull out just enough to pay for it. Or my
Oh, we lost your sound again. Okay,
again, we got knocked
there you
off
are.
again.
There you
Here we
go.
go.
There you
Here we go.
go.
We
Yeah.
good?
Yes.
Or my granddaddy, he would stand at the counter. My granddaddy Joe would stand at the counter. He'll turn his back. He wouldn't let you see how much money. The moral of the story is that we used to be people of discretion.
Okay.
The designer that's make our clothes. Everything you see now, you're gonna see ass, titties, and a kitty cat paw in the front because the designers that we
Everything.
go to make our clothes. Everything that they sell now is gonna show your body. I don't care if you big as an iceberg or you could be skinny as olive oil that played on Popeye. You know why? Because they're selling everything but discretion. We used to be a proud people that walk with discretion, but now we're to a mentality where our young brothers think it's okay to gun down another brother because of a pair of shoes he had on, or because he disagreed, or because he walked down the street on this side of the sidewalk. That's where we are. So now they sit back and see that. So we got to kind of take responsibility too. They sit back and see that and say, whoa, there was 54 homicides in Chicago. Does black lives really matter? And that's all blacks killing blacks. This is what I'm saying, ladies. I'm not minimizing the reality of me or Dozelle or Kim or you ladies. I'm not minimizing that. I'm not saying what they do, but here's what I'm saying. How serious do they take us? How serious do they take us? So those are the things that we as a people got to do. We got to live with a lot more. We have no discretion the way we live. You want to be on TikTok. You want to talk about this and talk about that. Why? Tell me why. I don't know. It behooves me. And here's another thing. The world is in a fix, man. If we sit back and we just look, so all that stuff you talk about can't be happening because the world's in a fix. The world is in a fix, and we're busy bojangling and buck dancing for all these other folks, and the world's in a fix. And guess who? The real people of God can fix it. It's the people of melon. We can fix it. If you humble yourself and pray, and what he say, you turn from your wicked ways, then will I heal. And then he'll heal the land. But you know what we're busy doing? Every they figure us out. Oh, don't worry about it. We'll give them some TikTok or Talkie Tick or whatever it's called. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get on there and tell me about this here. You're gonna get into this and that and all that. That's all we want to do. We want to buck dance and just that's what we want to do for them folks. That's why they don't take us serious. That's why our money don't circulate one time in our community. It's a disgrace. God has bought people of melanin from where they were. We were enslaved in this country. You had 265 years of prosperity on the back of on my back. See, on this here back. You had 265 years of that on the back of my people, right? Then you have the audacity to be mad at me. Why? But then we play into that. But here's how good God gracious. Even though you had 265 years of that on my back, right here, on my people back. But guess what, my people? We're still where they are. So guess what? They got to continue to make laws and legislation that change the game. You know why? Because every time you get your master's degree, what they tell you, you got to have a doctorate degree. You're the last hired and the first fired. The last promoted, but you'll be the first demoted. That's how it works. So you know the game. So what do? We don't play chess, we play checkers. We want to show our ass to the whole world. We don't want to make videos. And I love my brothers, these rapping brothers. I love it. They found a way to so articulate say things. But we the only one want to show our black women ass to the whole world. Ass, cheek, titties, and pussy. That's all we want to show. We don't want to show the intellect. Yes, your music is creative. Yes, what you do is right. Yes, you are articulate in what you say and how you say it. But why show your ass to the world? God didn't show you his face. Why not be like him? You was made in his image. And that's why I get mad at my brothers. That's why I stay on my island and I smoke my cigars and whatever else I want to smoke. So I ain't got to worry about that because we don't get the big picture. Pharaoh still exists. You buck dancing for Pharaoh. So when Pharaoh get tired of you buck dancing, he gonna bring somebody else up and let him buck dance for him too. Then you Negroes killing each other over crap games and all that. Come on, man. We play a role in it. That's why them folks don't take us serious, man. They don't take us serious. And I love my brothers, but I just don't understand it, man. All you entertainers and rappers and basketball players, if y'all come together, bring all your money together and change this thing.
So, Brother Darrell,
All
I
that
think
money
that's where
y'all
it's
got
at.
from these folks.
That's exactly where it's at. To me, it's all about taking control,
And then
coming together.
sisters, then you want you.
And
I'm
listen
sorry.
and
Go
listening
ahead.
and no, you're good. And listening to God, let him direct us. I think TikTok has its place.
Yeah.
I understand that you don't like it, but it has its place. But really take it, you be in control where God has us to be in control, and to come together so we can make things beautiful. That's where I'm at. So we've come to the end of the show.
I apologize, y'all.
No, you're good. We're so glad that you're here with us today.
I'm
Does
sorry.
anybody else have
Apologize.
any last words as it
I'm
relates
packing.
to the topic? Any last words, Toya?
Can I say something, ladies? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll let the
Oh,
ladies speak, and then I
You muted,
want to say
Toya.
something.
Okay.
No, I was just saying, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and I mean, Kanye and Kyrie, they've stated theirs,
Yes,
and that's just what they believe. Who are we to tell them different? I mean, if that's how they feel.
Yeah.
That's how they feel.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. Because just like we are sitting here telling our opinion, we could get canceled too. Not that it matters to me, but
Yep, that's
I'm
right.
with you. I'm with you. I totally agree. I have nothing else to say on that. What about you, brother?
Ladies and your audience, thank you for letting me be a part of you guys tonight. I'm very passionate about a lot of things, and that's just how I live my life. I want to say something to you, but let's guys, let's always salute our first responders, our police officers, our firefighters, also people that I think we don't pay enough homage to are our teachers, guys. Man, those teachers do a great job.
Totally
They go
agree.
out every day, man. They get the house no matter how they feel, and they empower these young people, man. I mean, the Laura Van Epps over at Mark, all these different people are the people that do that. Also, guys, let's spread love, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get out of this thing about white, black, yellow, brown. Let's just show love to each other. Let's each one teach one. Let's each one raise each other, and I guarantee the world will be a better place. You know what I'm saying, ladies? I thank you for allowing me to be part of you. Like I said, I apologize if I was denigrating or disrespectful. It was not my intention. I just want we need to embrace the true concept of what I am is all about, man. And that's love. Love will
I'm
change the
with you.
dynamic of what we know. All right, guys, until next time, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Till next time. See y'all next week, same time. Bye.
See you later. All right. All right. Bye bye. Bye, TNT.